Previously, Alan saved the border town from a dragon, and as a result, his sword was broken, so Lisa introduced a blacksmith friend of hers to repay Alan for saving her life from monsters and dragons, but all the attacks that's targeting Lise were done by Alan's father. He sent out his henchman Horace to find out how Lisa got out alive from those 2 attacks, and the henchman found Alan was accompanying Lise. Alan had always hidden his powers, so their Horace sends out his partner to spy on Alan, and at that time, Noel crafted a fine sword and went into the forest with him to see Alan's skills in swordsmanship, but there they cleared out a barrier unknowingly and found a big wolf in the vicinity. Seeing him, Noel asked with a trembling voice to Alan to kill the wolf. Noel was abandoned when she was a kid and later got adopted by Vanessa. She was a blacksmith, and no matter how much Noel calls out to Vanessa, she never answers when she's forging a weapon, so Noel was so tired of it that she just won't listen and messes around to get her attention, but no luck so far, even after making a mess. Noel is just amazed that she keeps going without a break, and after a day when she successfully makes a sword, she gets up from joy, but sadly Vanessa was killed by that very wolf they came across in the woods, so Noel wants Alan to kill it. Alan doesn't see a reason to slay a sleeping animal, and he doesn't want to play on Noel's words, so Noel took the sword to get revenge herself. But Alan warns her that blade won't work because it's a Fenrir who has barrier around to fend off attacks below a certain level, and only top-level weapon could get through it to harm that beast. Like a sacred sword, her blade isn't on that level, and if she wants to give it a try Alan leaves her alone. He goes back to the inn and tells this to Lise and Beatrice. Alan thinks someone brought it here, but there is no evidence to prove it. Well, anyways, he asked Lise and Beatrice about their mission. He knew these 2 didn't come only to help Alan to get a sword, so Lise tells Alan that General Cyril was assassinated, but the killer didn't leave a clue behind, and even with an investigation or divine power they couldn't find a clue, which means that it could be a work of a demon. But it's just a hypothesis because no one knows about demons' powers, so Lise and Beatrice came here to find clues. Alan could very well guess who might that be, and in the woods, Mylene saw the barrier was broken around the wolf by Alan, but she didn't report it to Horace, and he ordered Mylene to kill Lise and Noel. Mylene couldn't disobey because she had a slave spell on her, so she couldn't go against that order. Noel was working hard to make a sword on par with the sacred sword, because Alan had told her something that might make her weapons powerful. Noel was driven by the will to get revenge, but she passed out from exhaustion. She remembers that day when the wolf attacked them, and Vanessa faced the wolf but lost her life, and Noel couldn't do anything, but that time Akira stepped in and stopped the wolf with her sacred sword. Her blade cut through the wolf, so Horace ran off. Then Noel was in agony why Vanessa's blade was good enough to cut through that wolf, and from then on her dream was to make a blade on par with sacred sword. She updated the blade using Alan's method and goes to the woods to fight the wolf, but she's still a novice in fight, and their Horace comes as he was finding Noel himself, and now that he found her, he wants to get rid of her because she has potential to make greater weapons. Noel couldn't take it, but she doesn't stand a chance by herself, so their Horace asked Noel to serve him and he could spare her life. With this scam he had made Mylene his servant too, although he was the one who destroyed Mylene's village. So Noel chose death over slavery and began cursing him. Their Horace gave a green light to Wolf and Alan jumped in and protected Noel. Now Horace had figured Alan's powers, but he warned him about Princess. At that time Mylene had gone to assassinate Lise, but they already knew off this plan and Alan made a barrier to nullify her cloak magic, but she was still from a warrior tribe, and Lise stopped Beatrice from attacking, so Mylene knocked Beatrice, but still couldn't kill Lise. Lise knew Mylene was under a control spell, so Beatrice knocked her out. With that settled, Horace fails and orders Fenrir to attack, because they can't harm Fenrir without a sacred sword. But this time Noel succeeded in making a sword on par with sacred blade and Alan cuts through that wolf. Seeing that Horace ran off, and Alan gives a piggyback ride to Noel and brought her back to town. She was unconscious, but when she woke up she got flustered. Then in the morning they weren't sure if they should release Mylene, but the control spell has worn off, so they needed to understand her circumstances before making a decision. And Lise knew she's not a bad person, but even so, they can't just leave her like that. Lise thinks Mylene didn't attack her from her own will, so she could return back to her home, but Mylene told them her village was burned down and she has nowhere to go. Hearing this, Noelle recalls how she was adopted by Vanessa because she also didn't have a home to return to, so Noelle decided to take responsibility just as Vanessa did for her. She took full responsibility of looking after Mylene, but she could still endanger Lise, so Noelle assured them she would catch Mylene herself. Mylene broke into tears, and Beatrice apologized for speaking too harshly. Then that matter was resolved, and Alan then used his power in the open for some reason. And away from there, Horace was attacked by an overwhelming power in the open as a demon itself came to kill him. Alan arrived late, and the demon was under Craig's orders. He had joined hands to exact his revenge on the kingdom. Their demon took the job of killing Lise and Noelle, and Craig decided to handle the hero and archbishop. And right there episode 3 ends, but in case you missed to watch episode 1 and 2, I have made a playlist where you could watch it, so please watch the previous episodes so that you can understand the story, and if you are enjoying the anime, then like the video and subscribe to the channel to watch more newly released anime. Until then, take care.